My Hero Academia Bakugo. 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 Be sure to check out Agelessgeeks for your figures and collectibles. This video and YouTube channel is rated PG-13, so that means this channel is not for anyone under the age of 13. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Max Factory Figma My Hero Academia Bakugo. So let's get into it right away and take a quick look at the box. So as you can see here, we do get the basic style box when it comes to a Figma figure. So we do get the window right there on the front of the box. On the top we do get the warning and blah blah blah, so nobody cares about. Then the bottom does say Figma Max Factory figure number 443, and wow, that is a lot of Figma figures. Then it also does say KATSUKI Bakugo and My Hero Academia. And then the bottom of the box here, we do get a cool image of the figure. Same thing on the top of the box, just no barcode there. Then the one side does have another cool image of Bakugo, and then the other side of the box, pretty much same thing, another image of the figure. Then the back here to show a bunch of really cool poses you can get this figure into, along with some of the accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure open to take a closer look at. Sir screams a lot. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look, and for the detail on this figure, Max Factory did an awesome job, just like with Midoriya. I do have a few issues, mainly with the joints, which we'll go over a little bit later, but the detail, the paint and sculpt on this just looks great, man. Pretty clean paintwork throughout the entire figure, and the sculpt, it looks awesome too. On the hair here, it looks great. I don't think there's any shading on the hair. Would have looked nice though if there was, but the sculpt of it just looks dope. The face sculpts look great also, very clean paintwork. The mask is sculpted on there as well. And then we do get his like explosion pieces in his hair, and I really hate this part of his suit. I think that looks so stupid, but I guess they're trying to make it look like explosions are coming out of his head right there. And I have a little bit of like a bend in this one there, but these pieces look pretty good. And be careful with these, you don't want them to break when you're swapping the faces there. And then the torso here, we do get these pieces, which look pretty cool. It does hinder the head articulation a decent amount, so that does kind of suck. The torso here looks pretty good, very clean paintwork. We get a little bit of sculpted wrinkles in his shirt there, and there is, I don't see any type of shading on the figure. We do have a peg hole. Well, that peg hole looks a little off on mine on the back. You don't even, I don't think they lined it up properly or something. There really is not a peg hole on mine. I'm guessing there is supposed to be a peg hole on there though. But the paint's very clean on the back right there. The arms look pretty good too. I do like the grenade gauntlets. Those are probably the coolest looking thing on the figure, but they do get in the way of the articulation, which is to be expected. It's not the company's fault. It definitely is the character design's fault for the restricted articulation. But these pieces look so damn awesome, and it looks like these hinge. Don't try to do it, because they don't. I mean, you could tell it's just a separate piece they glued in, but it does look like they hinge up and down, so don't try to articulate that. And then we do get a few grenades around the belt right there. We get some sculpted wrinkles throughout the pants, as you can see, a couple of straps right there with some weird things on the side. I have no idea what they are. They don't look like pockets to me. Then we do get like some knee armor there, which look pretty good. And then for the boots here, we do get the strap right there. I like how the strap sticks out. I think that looks pretty cool. And clean paint where the orange is. We do get, don't really get many sculpted wrinkles around the ankles right there, but the feet turned out pretty good too. Clean paintwork on them. Then the bottom, we do get a little bit of sculpted treads there. So overall, for the detail, Max Factory definitely did an awesome job. And this does look like Bakugo from My Hero Academia. I'm wondering if I did call him Deku earlier. I'm not sure when I first started the detail segment, but the paint and sculpt, definitely one of the best parts to this figure. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, Mr. I definitely do have anger issues, without a doubt, is included with a pretty good amount of stuff. So first and foremost, we do get the Figma bag here in case you want to store your accessories in there. And then we do get a Figma stand, so we do have the base, and then we do have the arm, and we do have the extended peg there. But since mine does not have a peg hole on the back, I can't even use that. Thank God I have a ton of extra stands that have clamps. So we do get that stuff, and then we do get 2 interchangeable faces. And starting on the left there, we do get the smirking type face, which is the one that does come on the figure. And then finally on the right, we do get my favorite out of the 2, which is the yelling, screaming face sculpt with the bloodshot eyes. And what's weird about these faces, the way the hair is, it sometimes looks like he's stoned out of his mind. A picture should pop up to show you what I mean. Depending on the angle you take a picture, it does look like he's been smoking a little bit of reefer. And yes, I know that's a very old word to call marijuana. And I know marijuana is as well, but we do get some very nice sculpt and paint detail throughout both faces. I do wish that they included another face or 2. They definitely could have gave us a few more facial expressions with Bakugo. And if you look on the top of the head on his mask right there, you do see a little bit of plastic rub, which is bound to happen because it's going to happen from the front of the hair. But the faces are pretty simple to swap out. I'll show you how to do that right now. And the way you swap the faces for Bakugo is very simple, and it's the same way you do it for the Figma Midoriya. So you have to pull off the front of the hair. I just wiggle it back and forth and pull, and it eventually comes off. Then take the face, pull that off. You can see we have the wider peg on there. Take the other face, peg that one on, and then just take the front of the hair, peg that one on, and then there you go. As simple as that to swap the faces on Mr. I constantly yell all the time when I talk instead of just talking, and that irritates the hell out of me. That's why I don't like him as a character, and that's why I don't watch Black Clover, because the main character, Asta, I believe his name is, talks like that as well. So we do get the 2 interchangeable faces, and then we also get 2 explosion effects, and these are definitely my favorite accessories. I just love the way these turned out, and they look awesome once you have them on the figure. I love the paintwork throughout them, and they are a orange translucent plastic. As you can see right there, we do have peg holes on the bottom because they do peg in to the 1 set of hands we do have. But I really do love the way these look. They are sharp, so be careful of that. They are not identical, as you can see right there. And I'll show you how to get these on right now, but definitely some cool explosion effects there. Let me show you how those look on the figure right now quickly. Alright, so the way you get the explosion effects on is pretty simple. So you do need these hands, of course, that have the pegs on the palms right there, and the larger effect goes on the right hand and the smaller one goes on the left hand, and they kind of put grooves in it for the fingers, kind of. So this one just fits, whoops, right in the right hand there, and then this one just fits right in the left hand there, and then there you go. That's how you get the explosion effects on. And like I said, these look so awesome once you have them on Bakugo and you pose them around and stuff. So really love the explosion effects they did include with Bakugo. So we do get that stuff, and then we finally get 8 alternate hands. And starting on the top right here, we do get a pair of fists, of course, which do come on the figure out of the packaging, and you could tell because we do have the hand pegs in all the other hands. We don't get a hand rack, we just get the pegs for the hands, which I don't really know why they include these with the hands if you're not going to give a hand rack, so I'm kind of confused about that. So we do get the fists, and then we do get a pair of gripping hands, and the thumb, as you can see, is molded together to the fingers right there. And there's no reason why they needed to include gripping hands, but for me that's always a plus when you do include that with a figure. Then we do get a pair of open type hands, and then we do get a pair of open hands where the fingers are clenched a little bit, and then we do have the peg on top because these are the ones for the explosion effects. And they did a fantastic job on all 8 hands for his gloves. They do look fantastic, and they are very simple to swap out as well. And I thought that was going to be a difficult issue because of the grenade gauntlets, but it's actually not difficult at all to swap the hands, and that's always a good thing. You don't want to risk breaking a wrist joint on your figurine. But anyway, that is all the accessories included with Bakugo. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now for the height of this annoying little shit to the very top of his spiky hair. It looks like he's about 5.5 inches tall. And then here he is compared to the variable action heroes Past Blue Monkey D. Luffy, the Figma Midoriya, the McFarlane Toys Almighty, and the McFarlane Toys Shigaraki. And as you can see, Bakugo is a little bit taller than Deku, which he should be, so the scaling definitely is on point there. And then here he is compared to the Marvel Legends Big Time Spider-Man, the Dasen model Kenshin Himura, the SH Figure Arts First Release Sasuke, and the SH Figure Arts 2.0 Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. And then here he is compared to the Storm Collectibles Sector, the SH Figure Arts Sage Mode Naruto, the Mafex Justice League Batman, and the Figma Black Swordsman Guts. And then here he is compared to the SH Figure Arts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and we get okay movement with Bakugo. This is where I run into some issues with this figure. One is the articulation is restricted a lot with this figure because look at the character design, so it is to be expected, so it's really not Max Factory's fault. It's just the way the character is designed. It does restrict a lot of articulation, which does suck. Another issue I was having with the right leg, which this was a big issue I did have with both my Figma Berserk Guts figures, the first release of them and the re-release of them, is the leg joints kept popping off the ball peg at the hip there, and it kept happening to me on Bakugo, and I was getting a bit frustrating. Now it seems to be fine. The last time I pegged it back in, it doesn't seem to be popping off, but just be careful with your leg joints. They might pop off, so you'll have to end up popping them back on, which is just an annoying issue, you know what I mean? It's not something like, oh man, this is going to prevent me from buying the figure. I'm never going to buy a Figma again. It's just a little annoying issue there. Another thing is, certain joints on my figure, like the swivel at the knee is loose, and then the neck joint got a bit loose on mine as well. And the more I posed around the elbow joints, the more they got loose, but they seem to be more tight now. So maybe the more you pose it around, the more loose the joints will end up becoming. So just be cautious of that. But like I said, the elbow joints seem to be fine now. So now for the articulation, like I said, we are going to have some hindered movement. So the neck here, the hair and that piece around the neck is restricting him from looking up. So you're really not going to get him to look up at all unless you pop the neck joint out of the peg hole a little bit. Then you can get a little more articulation out of it. But he does look down really well, as you can see there. Just a little bit of pivot, not too much, and then it does swivel. Then we do get a point of articulation at the torso and the waist. So with both those joints, Bakugo crunches forward pretty good actually, and it does move more forward at the torso. Then back with those joints does not go back at all because of the way they made the upper torso. As you can see, it goes so far down, so you can't get them to go back at all, which does kind of suck. And then the pivot with both joints is okay, not the best. And then you do get swivel at the torso and at the waist as well. Then the arms here, you do get a pretty good circular motion out of the arm there. Not the best, but it definitely is there. And then the arms do go out to the sides a lot more than 90 degrees, so that is definitely awesome. They do go up and down. We do not have true bicep swivel, which kind of sucks, so you will have to use it at the shoulder or the elbow. And the elbow joints, as you can see, the grenade piece, they sculpted that little piece out so you could at least bend it in 90 degrees, which is definitely good enough. And then you do get the swivel there. You do get a swivel at the grenade gauntlet as well. And then the wrist joints here, of course, this piece is going to get in the way of the articulation, but it is a ball hinge, so it does swivel and hinges. Where's the hinge at? There we go. And it does hinge back and forth there. Now for the legs here, Bakugo can kick forward pretty much 90 degrees, which is definitely good enough. And then they do go to the back about 45 degrees. Let's see if he can Jean-Claude Van Damme it here. And Bakugo, doesn't seem like, oh, there we go. And it looks like he pretty much can Van Damme it, so he definitely does have nice leg movement. And then we do get the hip swivel. We do have a swivel right here at the strap, so that does swivel. And then it also does swivel at the knee joint, so a lot of swiveling from the knee to the hip right there. Then we do get these single jointed knees that do bend back a little more than 90 degrees, which is definitely good. And then we do have a swivel at the boot there. The one on my right leg works, but this one is stuck on mine. I'm gonna have to run it under some hot water or something, or maybe I just won't bother since there's so much swivel throughout the entire leg. And then the ankles here, they don't really swivel, but they hinge up a really good amount, hinge down really good, and then you do get an okay ankle pivot. Definitely could have been better. And then we do have a nice toe hinge there. So overall, the articulation is pretty damn good on Bakugo, but there is some restricted movement because of the character design. But going back on the torso, that definitely is Max Factory's fault there. So you're not going to be able to get him in the craziest poses, but you'll still be able to get him in some pretty good Bakugo-like poses. And I'm about to show you some of those poses right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the Figma My Hero Bakugo. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure with detail, I'd give it an even 9. Articulation, I'd give it an even 7. Accessories, I'd give it an 8. And then the overall quality, I would give a 7.5. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did get mine from Agelessgeeks, and he does have this in stock right now, so you can check out their website at agelessgeeks.com, and when you check out, use codename Daredevil, and you will get yourself a bit of a discount. If you can't find something on the website, I do highly recommend going through their Instagram or Facebook page. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. And if you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. Daredevil 19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Max Factory figures. So we do get the one right there. Whoa, sounded like I was a bit drunk there, didn't I? Let's get this figure, but to take a closer look. Let's get this figure, but to take a closer look. To the very top of his hair, it looks like he's a blah. Shigaraki, and as you can see, Bakugo, the Dasen model Kenshin Hamura, the SH figures is included with an okay amount of stuff. Definitely pretty cool. Yeah, messed that up.